Welcome back, everybody, to episode 17. In our last episode, we finished off our factory. We added some extra recipes and kind of switched everything around. We added a little bit more copper production. We fixed a lot of little odds and ends jobs, stuff like walls being not placed and signs and stuff like that. We got a ton done in the last episode. If you haven't checked that out, go ahead and click in the top right corner. Check that out. Today, what we're doing is just a factory tour. We're going to be going over all the stuff that we've accomplished in the last 16 episodes. I will be linking videos throughout of it, so if you guys missed something and you guys want to go back and watch it, go ahead and check it. This video is basically going to stand as, okay, I kind of figured out how to make videos now. A lot of the stuff when I first started, I had audio issues. I wasn't speaking loudly. I was still trying to figure out how to get the choppiness down. I still have a little bit of chop, but it's getting better. And overall, I feel like I'm getting a lot better at making videos. So I just wanted to make a video so everybody that's coming into the series new doesn't have to go back and watch kind of all this me struggling to talk and all that stuff. So I'm a little more confident. I'm ready to show you guys what we've done and kind of move on with the series. So all that being said, guys, let's get into it. We're going to have an awesome video today. All right, so this is our front of our factory, and the first thing that we really ever built was our first iron module. And basically this is using two of our iron nodes that we have here. They're both pure nodes. They're producing 240 a minute. It's, 8 smelters. We have 6 down here. We have 4 in a row. You have 2 kind of crammed in here right there, and you have 2 up top, so that's a total of 8. All that's being smelted into 4 different layers of production. So we have our iron plates all the way down at the bottom down here. You can see right there, there's our iron plates. We have our iron rods, and then we have another set of iron rods that are both being led up to our very top here, which are our screws. So we go ahead and check that out. Here's our screws up here. They're not running as efficiently as possible. Like I said, you're going to notice some mistakes throughout the factory, some things that we could change to make better. But overall, this is probably one of my favorite rooms in the whole factory. I just love how you can see the stuff coming across, and this room just feels so alive every time you come in it. Plus, with the levels being staggered like this, you're able to kind of see all the different stuff going up. It needs some more features. I gotta add more of these basic walls all the way across here, but overall this is our first iron module. It's definitely a lot better than our second one, but I like this room a lot. We have our smelters down here, we can see in these little glass rooms, and then of course back here I got my little glass viewing area. We can kind of see our other factory down there, our space elevator, and all that stuff as well. Moving on from our first iron module, we run into our storage room. Now this is kind of just like a workshop area. This goes over, we just have like little stuff in here. We have stuff for crafting. We have a workshop. We have put 2 of our vehicles in here. Occasionally in videos you'll see me place something down like an assembler in here, just right in the center. It's got just enough room where I can place stuff down and try stuff out and try to figure out recipes with the power charge and stuff like that. Then we just have some basic boxes full of like random stuff. It's not very organized in here. It's not like an official storage room where it's automated or anything. It's just like a place for me to kind of work and try to figure stuff out, and it's a little bit divided off from the rest of the factory, so it's a little bit more quiet in here and I can just kind of focus on what I need to focus on. We have our catwalks that go up to all of our different levels around the room. We have our MAM and our commoner wall up here. Before I go too far, I want to show you guys, this is just our power room. This single pole right here connects our entire factory to everything else. So this runs into our coal plant, which is down there. It's all of our power, and then everything runs off of this line. So this is literally our main power line to everything. If we were to unplug this, it would just shut everything down. Then we have our power lines for our smelters and miners over in this area for our first iron module. So this is just our first like main power room. It kind of hangs out in this room. Over here is an exit. It's the outside, which is scary, so I don't go out there, but that takes you outside. And then if we head up our catwalk stairs here, we have our assemblers, which we'll go check out in a second. We have our iron rods floor right here. Then we have our second level of miners and smelters up here. Over here we have our commoner wall. If you guys didn't know, we do that. If you guys comment something down nice below and I like the comment, I will include it in the video. So if you guys want to be included or you want to be a part of it and make your way under this big wall, we got a lot of stuff to fill up here. So go ahead and comment something down below. You know, it can be something as simple as just nice. And, you know, if I like your comment, I'll put it in the video. So if you guys want to be a part of it, just go ahead and do that down below. Up here, we also have our MAM, like we talked about. It's just kind of like another little area where I can research. A lot of my stuff gets collected in here, so I felt like it was a good place to have the MAM. Then we have a little bit of a catwalk, so we can walk out and kind of view what's going on. You can see our huge coal plant. If you haven't seen that one, go ahead and check that video out. So overall, this is basically our storage room. I got little ends here and there, just trying to add some more stuff to it. Up here you can kind of see the full like scope of this room. There's huge glass wall. We can see our space elevator and everything out there. We build anything out there, it'll be kind of like a set piece and you can kind of see stuff going on. So this is just a nice little room that I got to work on and do stuff in. Moving on, we go down to our first level again. We enter our first main hallway. Here we have another power room, and this basically powers our entire iron module. So you see we have our iron rods, both of them. We have our plates, and then our screws are running off of one line. This is another really good video. If you guys didn't see that one, go ahead and check it out. It'll be the top right corner. Alright, so moving back down our hallway, we have on our left here, we have our first room of concrete. So this is a really simple setup. We literally just have 3 constructors coming in, and they're just filling up a crate. I'm not doing anything special with this. This is mainly just for building our base. I finished this off like super early and I haven't really touched it since. Oh, looks like I missed a spot, but I'll cover that up. Anyway, so it's just a little simple concrete room. We're heading down some more. We have our copper sheets. So in here, we're making all of our copper sheets for our rotors upstairs. You have 3 in here, and then back here you have another room of copper sheets. All this is just kind of running through here, and then we have a so we have our storage box here, and then we have another set of copper smelters and constructors. So it's making all of our copper sheets back here. Back in this room, we have our second start to our iron module. These are going to be our iron rods on the first floor. This level is a lot more compact than anything else. This is kind of getting to the point of playing at the factory where it's like, okay, there's definitely not enough room to get what I need done. But I was able to somehow manage to fit all these constructors in here. Organized enough where you still have room to kind of walk through. I need to fix this side, but this is just another outdoor. So this takes us out to our copper miners and stuff like that. And there's that guy with a small head. Kind of freaks me out. So this is just another start to our second iron module. And here, I gotta fix that side too. We have our second set, or the second start to the mining production for the iron module. You have 1 miner in here and 4 smelters. And then back around the wall, over this way, we have our other iron smelties. So this is our other 4, and then we have our last iron module up there. So we have a total of 4 nodes here producing 480, I believe, iron. If we bump that up to Mark II, it'll get like way up into the 800s, and then I'll have to basically double the size of the factory. So I don't think I'm actually going to do that. It might be a project for later on. For right now, though, I'm calling this factory pretty well complete and organized, and if I add anything else, it's going to make everything crazy. So this stuff right here, this worked out really good, where it looks like the conveyor lift is actually against the wall. I did not plan that out at all, but if you're able to do that somehow, like, I just think it's a really cool feature, because you actually see the iron rods going up, and it literally looks like it's against the wall. And this goes all the way to the top to the 4th level. So literally in all of the iron module rooms, you're able to see this conveyor lift pressed against the wall, lifting these iron rods up there. I'll show you guys when I get up there. Over here in the middle of our factory, we just have another power room. This one is not as labeled as well. I do need to kind of go through and fix that, but this one's a bit of a mess. Basically, this is running to a lot of the stuff that's on this side of it, our concrete, our copper sheets and all that stuff, and then this side is running basically our entire iron module. So there's a lot of stuff going on in this room, and then this is just a main connector. If I wanted to shut off this side of the factory, we have all this here. This is, I need to fix it, but it should be running into this line. So that's another power room. Back here we have our maintenance room. This is kind of like, there's a word for it. I'm not really sure. I forgot what the word is. But this is basically kind of like a back room closet for me to just make my spaghetti. Nobody ever really goes in here. Not really supposed to be seen by the public. It's just back here to kind of get stuff moved around. And that way I don't have to worry about every inch of the factory looking pretty, and I can kind of just cram it into it and make it work. So this basically transports a lot of the stuff from our main iron module all the way over to our assemblers up there. We're going to get to in a minute. I didn't show this door, but this is literally just behind our iron plate production down here. So there's our iron plates, and this is just another way to get into the maintenance room. I need to put a sign on it, but this is our little cache of belts. From there, we move on to our assemblers. In here, we can kind of see our first set of assemblers. These are making reinforced iron plates. We're using the stitched iron plate recipe. I have a ton of copper production, and this saves less plates and produces more reinforced plates. So I just elected to go with this one. And there's a lot of kind of lines running around the background here. So we have all this stuff going on. It's organized. It's split as well. So this one right here is actually a splitter, a smart splitter with an overload or overflow. So all the iron plates that are coming in and being split, anything that's left over is being pushed back into, it runs into this room, which is another little maintenance room we got here. So it runs into our maintenance room where the belts are kind of organized, and then it's going to transport across into our actual, I gotta think of the name for that word, or the room there, but basically our hallway there, which all of our clutter is. So then it runs back into the storage, and if it's not being stored, there's a second overflow that's being pushed out to a resource sink, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. But all this stuff is organized and optimized as much as possible. We also have our copper wires coming in from over there where our copper module is. This door right here is really kind of nothing. It takes you outside to our concrete, our limestone miner. Here's another view of our highway and all that stuff. If you haven't seen that video, that's another really good video. Alright, so moving on, we go back inside here. We're going to check out our other set of assemblers. So we have our rotors being made in this room, and we're using another alternate recipe. We're using the copper rotors, and this is using the copper sheets that we have there, and all the screws from our modules, our iron modules. So all this is coming in, this is being merged outside with all that stuff, and it's able to make 22.5 rotors per minute, which is not as fast as my stator production is for my motors, but overall it's enough production for right now, so we're running with that. Across the bridge we have our second level to our second iron module, which is our iron plates. So all this is what's being pushed together, merged, and then ran across into this room, which is being ran to our actual assemblers in this room. So there's not a whole lot going on in this room. It'd definitely be a little bit more nicer. I didn't need a ton of space to run all these iron plate constructors because they're not as big as the other ones. So from there we go up to our third level, which is another set of assemblers. This is going to be our modular frames. So all the reinforced plates that are being made underneath here are being brought up to here. This is not the prettiest work. It's a little bit spaghetti. There's a lot of room to work in here, and I do have the option to add more of these if I would like to, because I'm not hitting the maximum production on the modular frames. I'm only consuming about 9 of the reinforced plates per minute, and we're making about, I think we're making about 26 a minute. So I can still add more to this if I'd like to, but for right now this is just what I had before I switch everything over. So this is another room just for making more stuff for the assemblers. Up here we have another set of a power room, which is basically just the same thing as you have down there, all connected, and it runs the top portion of the module, or this iron module, and then it connects to our assemblers and all of our rooms up here. This is just our screw room, and this is what I'm talking about. This is where the iron rods go. I'm gonna fill that wall in. Not completely perfect, but it's getting there. You have your screws up here, and then up here you can see more of those iron rods lifting up. And then before I go any further, I gotta jump down here and show you guys our copper production. Oh, gotta go down one more. So those 2 copper miners I showed you out there are being pumped in through the back of this right there, and it's going to run down to all these smelters. It's getting split down into even amounts, and it's making, I can't remember the exact number, but it's making a lot of copper. And from there it's getting merged and then split off to where it needs to go. I'll show you where it's going in a minute. But this stuff's being transferred across into this room, which is just our first set of copper sheets production. So we've already seen this room back here, which there's another set of splitters that are running out back behind the building that are going to run into these 2. So that's all of our copper stuff on this level. We do have those conveyor lift holes that are having stuff run down into our storage boxes here. And then this is making all of our wires and then all of our cables. I talked earlier about having smart splitters, and there's another smart splitter setup of this. I'll show you guys at the top where it's all getting separated. Basically it's going to fill up these boxes, and once this is full, the overflow will start to push it towards the resource sink to get it out of here. So that's the first level of copper. I'm going to show you the next one in a second. Before I show you guys more of the copper room, I just want to show you this little door I got back here. This is on the third level of our iron module, our first room. This is our iron rods floor, and I got this little door back here. It takes you outside, and this is kind of our resource sink dump for all the stuff that's in the front of the building that can't be resource synced in the back. And this is just a nice little catwalk. There's not a whole lot of stuff here. A lot of this is up here for basically aesthetic, but there's just some railings and stuff like that. And then you have another room right here, which is just a catwalk to kind of show you our iron production for this room. So if you want to kind of overlook and see what's going on, there's another option to kind of look at, you know, what's going on in here. So I just wanted to show you that real quick, and then we'll get back to our copper room. Alright, so our second level to our copper room is our copper wire. Now this room is insane, and I really wish I could have did it differently. I might rework it in the future, but there is a lot going on here. It's using 12 of the constructors to make, I don't even know the number, it's a lot. Whatever 30 times 12 is 360. Yeah, 360 copper wire a minute, which is a lot, considering I'm only consuming maybe about 120. So there's a ton of this being made, and it is just crazy. I mean, I still have clipping going on because all this stuff is so compact in here. Like, it's incredibly tight. It's down to pretty much the inch of how close I could get it. I'm getting stuck here. All that smelting stuff, all those smelters are being ran to the end here and being brought up through this conveyor lift, and then it's being split off to both sides, and it's going to be split down into threes and then split again for all of that over there. So there's a lot of splitting, a lot of stuff going on. This is a very, very complex problem. So if you guys haven't checked that video, make sure you guys check it out. It's in the top right corner, called Copper Chaos. It's pretty rough. Moving on from here, we're going to go down to our next level. Not down, we're going up a level. Alright, so our third level is going to be our cables and our resource sink. Over here you can see basically all our cables. We're not producing nearly as much cables just because it requires the wires to run. I probably could produce more. I probably could double it with just the amount of wires that we have. And I may do that if I can figure out if it's worth it or not. Basically all this stuff comes up here. Your wires are being ran into your constructors. Constructors get merged, ran over here into an overflow splitter. They go right to go down in the storage chest down there. And then obviously if it's full, they're going to go left to be merged into our resource sink. This also has our wires resource sink. So once we're making too much on the wires, it'll be moved here. I'm not sure why that's not coming out. I know that we're using wires now, so I still think it should be coming out. I'll have to double check on that. And then over here we have a merger from this room. Basically this is a overflow splitter for all of our stuff. We're going to put any additional iron plates we have. Once the storage box is full downstairs, I'm gonna push it up here, and then it will move on to the next area where it'll run over here and be basically put down the drain. So we have a couple of these running. We're producing about 21 per minute, which is fairly good. It definitely get higher, so we're gonna keep working on it and keep dumping the stuff that we need. And then our very last room is gonna be out here. So this kind of looks over. This is basically the top of our the copper sheet room. So you have a regular copper sheets in here, and then you have your second room in here. This is just the top of it. This is like another little space where I can come out and get to the outdoors and kind of you know, relax and focus on stuff. You can see our limestone production over there. I might jump this railing, which I probably shouldn't do, but over here you just see all of our stuff. You see our coal plants, you see your other factory, and you see your space elevator, all this stuff going on. I do need to work on that a little bit more, make it more appealing to the eye. But there's all that stuff. If you haven't seen any of those videos, the coal plant video is really good. That's another steel production video, and then this highway turned out really nice. You can't see it that well from here, but it looks really good. There's also some hyper tubes and stuff that run through it, so that was like probably one of my favorite projects so far. All that being said though, guys, real quick, I want to show you guys. I just wanted to thank you for 25 subs. When I first made this series, I never thought that like anything would come out of it. And at the time, like I maybe had like 40 views on like one video, and like nobody watched me, nobody commented. I didn't have like a single like on anything. I think I had like maybe one like on one Deep Rock video. But when I started this series, it was basically just like whatever, you know, we'll try and see what happens. And The first two videos got almost like 80 views a piece, and I was like, oh my god, this is nuts. And I started making these videos, and people started liking, and people started subscribing. I just checked this morning when I got up, and there was the fixing the coal plant video had already 300 views, and that is like it blows my mind to think that it's 300 people. And like, even if you guys didn't watch it, and I know that's probably the majority of it, you probably clicked on and watched a couple minutes and clicked off, but it is astonishing to me that people actually watch the videos, even if it's just a small portion of people. And like, to think that there's 25 people out there that are subscribed to this channel that get these videos daily. And I know that a lot of you don't watch it daily, and that's okay, I understand. I appreciate all the responses. I appreciate the comments when you guys like stuff and talk to me and ask me how the factory's going, and like, literally it makes my day. I got a comment on a video and I was at work and I read the thing, and it literally, I worked myself up into an anxiety attack because I got so happy that somebody's actually responded to like what I'm doing and they enjoy the content. So if you guys enjoy that, I know that was a bit long-winded. I wanted to thank you guys tremendously. It means the world to me every time that you guys say stuff and comment down below and all that. So really appreciate it. For the last little bit of the video, we're going to do a little bit of outro. We're going to put all of our space elevator parts into there, and we're going to move on to phase 3. So there's a lot of really good stuff coming, and if you guys like the series, if you like what I'm doing, if you like the factory, subscribe, follow this series. If you want to make it on the comment wall, just comment. And I just want to say thank you guys tremendously for all your support. Alright, so I just want to say real quick, there may be a small break in the recording. I've been trying really hard to upload daily, but once I get in this phase 3 stuff, it's pretty much going to change like everything and all the stuff with our factory, and we're going to move on to another factory. So there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. I made way too many of these. I made like way too many of these. I guess I'll save them for the next one because I'm pretty sure they're on there. But phase 3 is going to lock a lot of stuff that's going to change a lot, so the videos may be coming out a little bit slower, but I'm going to be doing my best to upload. And just make sure you guys you know, like and comment down below, and keep following the series, guys. I really appreciate all the support. So we're going to send off our project assembly parts. Yeah, it's sealed. We're going to send it off. Oh no, I fell in the water. No, we're gonna miss it. No. Well, now that I fell in the water and I missed my chance, you guys have a good night.